Hello, everyone. I wanted to welcome everyone to this first conference in the Caribbean for the research and education. This conference is being led and directed by Dr. Vladimir Figueroa Gutierrez. He's a director for research, and also Dr. Vahid Nouri Kandani. He is a teaching assistant in some of the programs that I direct and has been doing a wonderful work. So both of them, they asked me to record this video to welcome everyone for this event. And I just wanted to say a few words about research and education, and actually more specifically about innovation in education. So as research is an important component to test your novel ideas in education, I just wanted to go one step before and discuss an important topic. When you're designing an educational program, how you design that? And I just wanted to give a three sort of bases used for design and analyze a bit. And hopefully this is helpful as you're going to embark in this conference. So you can design, so when you're designing a new program, you can design based on one of them would be the neural mechanism of learning, meaning that in terms of what you know, how human beings learn, how we know in terms of the neural connections, how to change neuroplasticity and use that to design. So the second one is the experience. So it could be your previous experience, or in clinical research, it would be your pilot study. It could be research experience from others. So meaning that other studies published, okay. Or there's another one that actually has been discussed more recently, this sort of a technology-driven design, okay. And of course there are more, but there are more sort of bases, and usually sometimes also use a bit of either one. It's not only one of these as a basis for designing, but it is interesting to think how you're designing your new course or your new educational program. And let me start with the one that I don't think it's a good idea to design your program, and you understand why. So first one is technology, and this has been very much discussed because with the pandemic, most of the teaching and learning has been passed to this sort of online format, okay? But that's an important issue. If you design your program based on technology, meaning based on the technology tools you wanted to use it, that is likely going to fail, okay? Because it's not necessarily going to, you are designed based in your operational tools, not based on what make students learn, okay? And that's how you should think when you're designing your educational program, how students learn. The technology comes after, okay? You shouldn't design a course based on technology, based on, I want to choose this app, I wanted to use Zoom, I wanted to use Google Classroom. No. First you think how your learners or how your participants will learn effectively. And then based on that, and you also think on what is in your environment, okay? And then you adapt that using technology. But technology comes in second. Okay? How about the other two options in terms of designing novel courses, novel educational programs? One is that I like it. This is my field, neuroscience. My field of research, that is neuroscience. So this is why this is a good idea, because then you can understand how participants they learn. For instance, we know that our attention if you give a constant stimulus to the students, your attention tends to decrease over time. And our attention is very much modulated by contrasts. So if I keep saying this video for more than 10, 15 minutes, likely your attention is going to start drift off. Okay? And you can use that to design. So this is a simple one. You can use that to design your educational program. You're not going to give lectures that is more than 15, 20 minutes. Or you do, if you wanted to do long lectures, you wanted to break in the middle, you want to do an activity, you want to get the students as well to interact, analyze the material, because there's a limit of how much information you can give to the students, they process and analyze effectively. Okay? So that's one example. And you can use, in terms of neuroscience, there is a significant amount of research in this field, neuroscience of learning, and you can go to think on your attention, your memory, your motivation, the stress, which is linked as well, emotion, how all of these neural sort of domains, they influence in your learning. And then you can use that to think on novel tools. Okay? And then the third one that I think that should be used also is the experience, what it works. So one of the things also when you design your thinking in education, how to have effective educational programs, sometimes you have an idea that something is going to work, but it does not. Why? Because the system is complex, and your participants also, sometimes you think that participants will respond in this way, but they respond in a different way. Okay? And that's the idea. Also use sort of a design based on the learner, not based on the teacher, because in the end of the day, we actually do the opposite in a number of cases. We do the design based on the teacher, meaning what he or she will think that is effective for teaching. Okay, and then how can you get this experience? So this experience may be based on your previous experience, and that's the idea of starting a new program. You start as a small one, and then keep growing over time. Okay. And that's an example. I run a few educational programs. One of them is the clinical research program, and that's how we did it. The first group of this clinical research program was about 30 students, and we kept learning. And this now became a global program with about 400, 500 participants per year. Okay. And then we kept changing every year, and even during the year as well. It is very important to be dynamic, and you learn with their experience. And then second, you can learn with previous research. So those are the two things you can use it. Okay, and that's what I wanted to tell you as welcoming you to this conference. Is one is that there is a significant need for novel programs in education, and two, the strategies you use it to design, you should truly consider them as well. So, and the same thing as clinical research as well. When you design a trial, how you design a trial, you have to learn about the mechanism of the drug, you have to learn about the mechanism of the disease, and you have to also learn about what has been tested, and you find the gap, and you design your study. The same thing as well when you're designing a novel program education. You need to learn sort of what are the mechanisms of learning. You need to learn what worked, what did not work, and then think. And then you may also want to do a small program and then improve later. Okay. And my final comment is that that's one of the things that, in a way, innovation in the education we don't see as going as fast as innovation in medicine. Of course, you have other factors as well, funding and so on, the significance, and but there is a big field and a big opportunity for more innovation in education. And I hope that you think as well, again, how you based your novel programs. Okay? And that's what I have it as well, to welcome everyone for this conference. And I hope you have, again, a wonderful conference. And my last word as well for Dr. Vahid. He's, besides of being trained in our clinical research program, having a solid foundation in research, he also has participated in our teaching and learning and innovation program as well. Has been done wonderful, and I'm glad that he's disseminating this important knowledge to his colleagues in Dominican Republic. Bye everyone.